So Tiara and I were interested in learning more about ferns and dispersion, so Dr. McMillan was gracious enough to lend us this book so we can help learn more about it. Once upon a time, in Christmas land far, far away.
Hi, I am Monkey. I want to invite Christmas Fern to my Christmas party. Yay! But wait, I forgot the address. I guess I just need to find out the dispersion pattern first so that I can figure out the address.
To find the answer to the questions Monkey was looking for, he decided to go on Google. Sadly, though, he couldn't find anything. So he decided to consult his friend, the wise Christmas tree.
Yes, I'm going to see Wise Christmas Tree.
Hello, Monkey. I've been expecting you.
Wow, you are so wise. I need help.
Dispersion refers to the distribution pattern of organisms within a space. Each species has a unique dispersion pattern, and there are three basic dispersion patterns: random, contagious or clumped, and regular. A random dispersion pattern means there's an equal probability of an individual occurring at any point in the habitat, and that the presence of an individual does not influence the probability of occurrence of another individual. Contagious dispersion patterns, or clumped, are those where the presence of an individual increases the probability of finding another one nearby. Regular dispersion, indicated by more even spacing that would be predicted by a random dispersion, may suggest territoriality or some limiting resource. The Christmas fern, or Polystoicum acrosticoides, is perennial, which means that it is present all year round. It is important because it provides a habitat for several species, as well as stabilizes the soil, preventing erosion and runoff. Just to let you know about the fern life cycle. Most ferns are homosporous, meaning that they produce a single type of spore. Sporangia release these spores, which eventually give rise to gametophytes. Beginning with a spore, though, the fern spore then germinates and develops into a small heart-shaped gametophyte that sustains itself by photosynthesis. Each gametophyte has both male and female sex organs, which are sperm and egg cells, and can fertilize itself or others. A fertilized egg develops into a new sporophyte, and the young plant grows out from its parent, the gametophyte. Once the plant is large and mature, the new spores grow on the underside of its leaves, and the cycle begins again. Ta-da! And here is the Christmas fern! Since Christmas ferns theoretically disperse by spores, in my infinite wisdom, I would assume that their dispersion pattern would be random.
Oh, but how can I be sure?
Let this protocol be your guide. Now go!
Okay, I will use pointless technique. Pointless method is very useful for determining the dispersion pattern of the organisms, especially when the field is not a defined area. This technique uses distances between a point and an individual or between two individuals. Pointless method that I will use is called the nearest neighbor method. To make it simple, each sample consists of a pair of measurements called D1 and D2. First, I'll just pick a random point. Then, I'll measure the distance from this point to an individual A. This distance is called D1. Then, I'll measure the distance from individual A to individual B, and this distance is called D2. To obtain the next sample, a new random point is chosen, and another pair of measurements is made. I will worry about statistics later.
So Monkey, along with two brave human helpers, set off for the Hashawood jungle in the far northern region of Christmas Land to collect their data. In total, they obtained 31 samples.
Okay, here's the statistical part. Since I use the nearest neighbor technique, the statistical test that I will use is this formula. A equal sum of d1 square divided by sum of d2 square. According to my protocol, if A is less than 1, this implies regular dispersion. If A equals 1, this implies random dispersion. And if A is more than 1, this implies contagious or clumped dispersion. From the Excel sheet, the sum of d1 square is 73.18. Sum of d2 square is 32.32. When I divided sum of d1 square by sum of d2 square, I got 2.264. Wow! My A number is 2.264. According to the protocol, my A is more than 1. So this suggests that Christmas ferns have contagious or clump dispersion pattern. Christmas tree is wrong. Although Christmas fern can disperse via spore, which should result in a random dispersion pattern, our data suggests that Christmas fern's dispersion pattern is actually clump or contagious. And this makes sense since Christmas fern can also disperse by rhizome. A rhizome is a horizontal underground stem. Roots will appear and grow downward all along the rhizome as it expands underground. The rhizome contains the xylem and phloem, which are also known as conducting tissues. These tissues carry the water, minerals, and nutrition throughout the plant. In terms of reproductive function, some literature state that the rhizome can also give rise to new sporophytes. In Christmas ferns, this typically occurs in the spring when the rhizome divides itself into several smaller plants. Okay, I can get their address and can invite all of them to my party now. Since they follow the contagious dispersion pattern, it will be easier to find all of them. Christine, wake up! We need to go to Ecology.
Tiara, I got it. It's contagious.
You contagious?
No, the ferns. It's a contagious dispersion pattern.
So what does that mean?
It means that when you find an individual, there's a greater likelihood that you'll find one nearby.
Oh!